Hey folks, it's Darth checking in with you again, here to review Season 1, Episode 2 of Amazon's The Wheel of Time, called Shadow Waiting. So, right off the bat, I'll tell you, I thought this was a stronger episode than Episode 1. Oh my god, Eamon Valda, the White Cloak, cut off that Aes Sedai's hands. That is awesome. Uh, it's technically not necessary for an Aes Sedai to use a hand motion to use the one power. If it were, then I suppose uh, that would be a whole other thing. However, however they learn to channel is how they do channel. So it is accurate to the lore to say that if that Aes Sedai learned to use hand motions along with crafting her weaves, that she would be unable to effectively channel without doing so once that was ingrained in her. And by that standard, I guess Moraine needs to go ooh anytime she wants to use a weave, you know. So that's its own thing. Um, the scene with Taran Ferry was really neat. We're definitely less subtle than we were in the books, but that's okay. There's nothing inherently wrong with that for a television audience. But you know, the show so far, I've been really impressed with the costuming, with the set design, with the scenery, the music and the score, the sound quality in general are great. I've really enjoyed that. And hey, they did a night scene where you could see stuff. So, right there, they've got a leg up on Game of Thrones. But no, in general, I enjoyed this episode more. I got a kick out of a couple of little things like watching Yosha Stradowski ride. That would be the character playing Rand, the redheaded guy. Watching him ride a horse. He's got to work on that a little bit. He's not a great rider. And you know, there were just other things here. The pace slowed down a little bit for this episode, which I thought was good. I thought that episode 1 felt a little choppy because it was just a touch too fast. So this slowing it down was a bit made it a bit smoother, made it feel more comfortable, and I also think this episode was more book accurate, which helped with it because the book is just great material. You don't really have to change it. You just have to modernize it uh, and you know maybe rewrite some dialogue, which they have. I've heard characters say ass and damn and I think shit and not much swearing, but there's a little bit going on here, and that's interesting because in the Wheel of Time books, no swearing. Similarly, I think they're doing some things to make a Game of Thrones audience feel a little bit more comfortable. You know, there's not been nobody's hanging dong in this thing, but there have been a couple of naked scenes. We've seen Daniel Henney's butt. That's Lan. That was in episode 1. We we had that bit with the goats in the shape of the dragon's fang. There's some stuff, right? Sorry, folks. Very late for me right now. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Especially that scene with Moraine and Egwene talking to each other, and we were learning about the three oaths and how they work, and we were learning that Egwene can channel, and you know, it's simple, but it's just good storytelling. I really liked that. I will say that immediately afterwards, the Balsamon sequence, guy with the red eyes, in the dream, where uh, the one dude pulled a bat out of his mouth and then that like Dementor looking thing showed up. That was not good CG. That maybe it didn't have to be. I don't really know. But that kind of like that pulled me out of it for a moment. Immediately after that, though, I was good because hey, Yosha can act. Uh, Again, character playing Rand, curly red hair, tall guy. Yeah, him shouting at Moraine was really good. I thought that that was nice. Um, and speaking of acting, Marcus Rutherford, Daniel Henney, respectively, the guys playing Perrin and Lan, they're doing a great job of conveying a lot while saying very little, which is true to their characters. I really liked them. I liked the White Cloaks in general. I liked the introduction to Aes Sedai speak, where Aes Sedai can't lie, but what they say and what you hear can be different. So they're very manipulative in that regard. I thought that was nice. Similarly, Perrin meeting the wolves was nice. I thought that was cool. Um, Back on the CGI point, Mashadar looks a little weird to me. For those of you who are not book readers, Mashadar is the black shadow that was crawling along the ground that chased our characters at the end of the episode. In the books, that is not a shadow crawling along the ground. In the books, it is tendrils of fog that creep out from between the buildings and down the streetways, etc., and they like stab out into things. Um, so, same result basically, but a different way of getting there. And I don't know quite how I feel about that change. I think that it's visually less striking as a shadow than it would have been as mist, but I also understand that mist, to do it properly, is probably expensive to animate and to do the CG for if you're going to have chords of it. You know, how do you do solid mist? Yeah, that could be a tough one. Matt's been a funny character so far. I've enjoyed that. And yeah, I'm really starting to feel the show more. See, episode 2 was uh was good. It was really good. So, uh right here I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm going to give episode 2 an 8. And folks, if you haven't read the books, this is the time to step away because now I'm going to talk about things that are a little longer term that they might be setting up, things that are going to be book spoilers. So, spoiler warning if you have not read the books yet. Um, okay, now that I've said that, we skipped Baerlon. And because we skipped Baerlon, and because Tom wasn't in the first episode, Tom is not here as a guiding force, which means that he's probably going to be in Whitebridge in episode 3, if I had to guess. But I am saddened by that change. And I was also saying to myself, man, I wonder where Nynaeve is. We're really missing Nynaeve. And then Lan got snuck up on. And I dropped missing Nynaeve to immediately fuss and think, nobody sneaks up on Lan. And then it was Nynaeve. And I went, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We can do that. Um, you know, there's some differences going on here. I just said this in the early part of the video, which is probably bad of me to say, but this is a lot less subtle than the books are. And I suppose it has to be, but I do hope that they will find their footing and get confident in letting the Wheel of Time be the Wheel of Time and have its intrigue and have its foreshadowing and setup, you know, and just very cleverly put that in the background. I hope that they'll feel more confident doing that over time because we don't always have to be, you know, hit over the head with uh, Moraine is a hard ass and she'll do what she needs to do for these characters to get where they need to go. We don't always need that, um, but overall, I think you'll agree with me. This episode is stronger than episode 1, and you know they have done a couple of little subtle things. Perrin met some wolves. Egwene got to channel a little bit, and what did she channel on? What's it called? A Kaisiara? I don't remember what it's called from Moraine. That wound that she's got and them splitting up the way they have, I bet that that's leading into I bet that's leading into convening with Loghain's cart and other Aes Sedai in episode 3. So there's just all kinds of changes going here. This has me wondering if we're going to go to Caemlyn, actually. So, yeah, we did not get Tam not being Rand's father in episode 1. In episode 2, we haven't got Barillon, so we don't have the sequence with the prophecy information. We also don't have really any interaction with Myrddraal other than seeing them, hiss. And we don't have Rand's first instance of getting sick after channeling, which is interesting. They are really trying to keep that as secret as possible. That's fine. That is fine for now. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next one.